Guys, we're back with a quick update on our Go Big or Go Home build on the Revell F4U1A Corsair. I was working on the cockpit tonight, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Before I go do that, though, I have a suggestion for anybody wanting to build this kit just this far in. Let me come in closer here a little bit. Sorry about the shadows. On our instructions, I'll grab something here to point with. Sorry. Okay, we have the cockpit here, which is real basic to begin with. And that's just your decal here for your control panel. I show the spin it around and glue it on. And then you've got your back firewall. It goes on. Now this is what I would do. They have a decal for each side of the cockpit, which I went ahead and used. But what I would do differently, the cockpit itself has really nice detail molded in. All the switches and knobs and sliders and toggles are all molded in. They're real nice and real crisp. So instead of using the decal, I would think you would be better off dry brushing that with a little silver, and then you could take a cocktail stick or colored pencils and color in some of the knobs and stuff, and then take these decals, instead of putting them here and here, even though it's probably meant to be prototypical, I would take and put them here on the sidewall, because they don't really match up. The decal doesn't really match the switches and instruments that are on the panels. And in fact, even the one for the instrument panel doesn't quite, the shape lines up, but the actual gauges are not quite in the right spot. So once you settle that decal down, they don't all actually line up over the impressions on the instrument panel. So I would probably just go ahead and sand, if you're going to use the decal, which does look good. I would just go ahead and sand all this detail off. I'll go back up here. Sand this detail off the front of it, and then put the decal on. Or if we follow Chris and Alex's new director, that's a water slide transfer graphic there. We're not calling it decals or decals anymore. The water slide transfer graphic, and get rid of all the actual detail on the part there. And again, on this section, instead of using the decal, just go ahead and paint it black, dry brush it with a little white or a little silver to bring out all the knobs and panels, and then go back and either with a cocktail stick with a little paint on the tip or colored pencils, and then color in your switches and knobs. And then instead use the actual decals for in this section here below the sill for the canopy, because there were knobs and switches and stuff on the sidewalls as well. I think it'll look better. Since I already did it the other way, but if I do this kit again, which I probably will, I love Corsairs, so I'll probably go ahead and do another one here before too long. At $20 you can buy a whole fleet of them, and it'll give you a little bit of detail. So just 1 second here. Okay, here's the actual part. So the decal for the instrument panel looks really good, but if you can tell, if I can get zoom in close enough, can see that the molded gauges don't quite match up with the printed ones on there. And the same thing on these side panels. I actually went over the decal and kind of dry brushed and highlighted in some silver to bring out some of the actual molded in detail to bring it out. Let's see, go focus in on it. Bring in those panel lines and such, or the switch there in the center here. I would use those panels and such decals for the sidewalls, and then do the use the decals for the side panels and actually dry brush and paint the instruments. Sorry guys, I've been sick again today. I just stayed home from work. Yeah, so that's where we're at. We're ready to put our Japanese American pilot in. Get him in there, all lined up and good. And then we're on to starting on the fuselage next. So that'll be coming up in a couple days. Put some stills up at the end just like always, and we'll see you next time.